Okay, so my last video was 27 minutes long, so I'm gonna do basically like a TLDR tutorial video for people to just pause and follow along really quick for how to use this add-on so that I don't bug people with how slow my last one was because I was being slow. So we've got three different kinds of exports here. We're only going to focus on these two because that one's unimportant for the video. This is going to be individual FBXs for the single export mode, and this is going to be for group export mode. Um, let's go into single export mode now, which is this. First, you're going to want to select your armature up here, and this is going to be the armature that exports with all of these. The way single export mode works is you have all of these different objects. Every single one gets exported as an individual FBX based off your selection here. You cannot configure this in a way to make it not export. Each one is an individual FBX, and that's what group export mode is for. I'll show you that after. So for this one, you're going to want to select your folder. If you're in Unity making avatars, you're going to want to select your FBX folder where all of your FBXs are located. Um, don't select individual files here. Select your preset. My other video shows you how to make presets. That's up your file, export, FBX, and then in the top right corner, there's an operator presets button and an add and subtract button where you can make operator presets. That's what these are. Export animations, leave that off. There's no reason you should have it on. If you know what it does, turn it on if you need it. But if you don't know what it does, you don't need it. Auto select paths is going to auto select the um, it's going to auto select the path based off the name of this. So let's say you have body.fbx in your scene. This is going to be body.fbx. If you have eyes.fbx in your scene, this is going to be eyes.fbx. Auto name only applies if you override this. So if I click on here and I menu select a file, like let's say I selected piercings.fbx for this instead. When I click export, this is going to get renamed to piercings.fbx. For now, we don't need that though. We're just going to apply to all, and let's make a change. Let's say on this one, I want to, let's just change something to make it obvious that something has changed. Okay, there we go. Obviously something has changed now. So we're going to export selected. We're going to go back into here, and as you can see, it will have updated. Now, that's just an example. Obviously, any updates you normally would make, including armature changes, are going to get iterated across all of the objects that are selected in there. In this mode, deselecting one of these, the deselection tool here is only just saying basically don't update that FBX. We don't want that FBX to update. And you can just Control Z and export again to fix, let's say, if you made a mistake. And if you don't want to Control Z, you can also load a backup or an old project. These settings will save. And if you load an old backup, these settings, they'll stay the same. You click export selected, and immediately your project will be brought back to an old version of your Blender project. So that makes it really quick to go back to old versions if you made a mistake a long time ago and you have to restart, so you don't have to remake an entire Unity project just because you broke some things. That's this mode, basically. This is the only individual checkbox that isn't done by groups. You can override all of these, and these tools are pretty self-explanatory, but this one is a beta feature. These are export without armature. If you check these, the object is going to export as just an object with a mesh. No armature will be exported. And it will override your FBX file. If it does have an armature in it, it will override it without an armature. Now we're going to move on to group mode. Group mode is the same thing, except for you can create groups. And these individual groups, you can consider these to be FBXs. So we're going to go into the group test mode. We're only going to test, actually, we'll test two for now. Why not? So we're going to select two of these. Be careful to make sure you don't have two blue things on your screen here. Make sure you click out of this. If you see something is still blue up here, you should only have this one thing blue down here. Otherwise, something is broken in the way that it's selected, and it will give you an error down here, invalid file path. If you get invalid file path, it's most likely this. So just come back in here and reselect your file paths. Now this one, we want this one to be no accessories.fpx, and we want this one down here to be no hair.fpx. These are just example names, by the way. Obviously, these will be whatever project or whatever file you're using. And if we go into Unity here, you can see This one doesn't have any hair, and this one is fully complete. It just doesn't have materials because I didn't put them on. Um, so if I load my objects here, I'm using FBXL preset here. We have all of these, and if I just export these, so no accessories was complete. So let's change no accessories to not have any hair. And this one didn't have any hair. So now if we export selected, invalid group path. Oh, it happened. I told you it was going to happen. Okay. So yeah, that's what that looks like. That's the invalid file path. This directory doesn't exist. What's happening is it's mixing this directory with the base directory of the group. So if it does happen, go ahead and come in here and into this one up here specifically and select your group folder and do this and apply that to all groups. And it should update and fix everything if you did have broken exports. So now if you export selected, that's 0.46 seconds. We come in here. Oh, it's loading. And as you can see, now this one doesn't have any hair, and now this one does have hair. They've traded places because of the things that I changed. One tip I will say, if these prefabs are changed, if you delete something from here, or if you exit out and you delete prefabs, or if you right click on this and you unpack your prefab, it's going to break. It's not going to auto update. So don't unpack or break your prefabs. That's my only advice for that. That's going to be the end of this tutorial. There's not much else to show. And goodbye.